with National Freestyle Coach Zeke Jones, and topics the World Cup of Freestyle coming to Los Angeles March 15th and 16th. Zeke, how big is it for our program that we're actually hosting this event for the first time in over a decade?
Well, it's huge. You know, home court advantage, as everyone knows, is critical. It was a vision of Andy Barth back at Hungary at the World Championships, where we started talking about hosting the World Cup, and now it's come to fruition. I think we're in a good spot too. You know, it's nice to sleep in our own beds, eat our own food, let the foreigners feel jet lag, and give us a leg up.
So let's talk a little bit about the competition. Top 10 teams in the world, rosters are coming in. What kind of challenges Team USA going to face with the athletes and teams coming here to the United States?
Well, even though we have home court advantage, Iran's bringing their best team, Russia's bringing a bunch of 1, 2s, and 3s. You know, they're loaded. So even though we feel pretty good about home court, I think you've got obviously the best teams in the world who are bringing their best guys, and they want to win the World Cup too.
So let's talk a little bit. U.S. team's getting formulated. Last week we were able to announce that World Olympic champion Jordan Burroughs is going to wrestle for us in the World Cup. How important is Jordan as a leader and part of the team for our overall team success, to have him part of this team?
Well, as you know, Jordan's our leader. Anytime you have a multiple World and Olympic champion in the lineup, he leads by example, does everything right every day, loves to train hard, loves to to win and help the team with success. And so I think we're in a spot where Jordan's going to be that guy showing us how to do it. Nice thing is, I think we're putting a pretty good team together too, and I think that'll feed off Jordan, and Jordan will feed off them. So
you're going to be able to talk about maybe 5 of the 8 weight classes. Obviously, the U.S. team, you guys are going to go through some training and preparation, and it won't be fully completed till you actually compete. But could you talk a little bit about some of the guys? We're looking at 61 kilos, 66, 70, 84. Those seem pretty solid as far as what your roster is going to be.
Yeah, right now our roster's at about 25. We'll cut it down to the 16 that we need. Those additional guys will either be training partners or will get put into the lineup at some point at the World Cup. Of course, 61's led by Humphrey and Kennedy. Reese had a great match against the Mongolian, who was 3rd in the world last year at 65 kilos. That was up a weight, and Jimmy Kennedy, as you know, has been on a tear. I think we're in a great spot there. 65 too, I think we're in a good spot. We've got, our experienced guys, and without going through each one of them and each name, I think between 61, 65, 84, I think we're solid. I think we're in a good spot. 70 kilos, obviously, we know is a new weight. And like other countries, we're sorting out who that's going to be. At the World Cup, we're just going to basically select it until we have a world team trial at 70 where we have a ranking ladder. Until then, it's a little clunky, but I think we've got some guys that'll emerge there and do well.
But you feel comfortable that these Americans that you're putting together that are going to be ready for this event can stand up and represent in the World Cup?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every time any coach will look down the lineup, they'll look at your team, you'll look at their team, and you'll look at the matchups. And like anything, you feel you're favored in some, you're not favored in some, and then there's toss-ups. And I think every time I look at our roster compared to theirs, whoever theirs is, I feel good about it. I think we're in a place where, preparation is right. We've got that home court on our side, the American fans screaming for us, and I think that, good things can happen.
Now, as a sports fan who may not have seen the World Cup, it's a dual meet format. Why should they get it out and watch this competition over 2 days in L.A. in March?
Well, you have the 10 best teams in the world. I mean, you're talking about the best wrestlers on the planet. And when you have that, it's exciting to see. You're going to watch Jordan Burroughs against some of the best guys in the world, and you can go up and down our whole lineup. We're going to be wrestling world champions, Olympic champions. These aren't just national champions. These are the best wrestlers in the world, and to have it in Los Angeles is a great place to come and watch. And I think right now we're ticket sales are starting to get off the ground. We need all the Americans to come out and support our team. We need you there. Make no mistake, Iran is going to have a lot of people in the stands, as well as Armenia and all the other countries. But those countries travel well. We don't want to be out cheered by another country, so we need all the Americans there.
Overall, how's the winter tour season been? Got one more event this weekend going on in Belarus, but you've had a chance to see a number of our athletes in competition this winter.
Well, maybe the two observations I've made is one is just tactically, technically. You know, we got new rules, so like anything, new strategies and tactics are evolving. We're absolutely ahead of the curve there. I feel very confident that we're leading based on the rules, we're leading where techniques and tactics are going. I would say, you know, individual results and team results, we've wrestled well. Obviously, we have a new guy, Nick Maribel, and I say new, you know, maybe new to other people. We always knew he was good. It was Nick Maribel is emerging as a title contender. All our guys have been competing well, whether it's, you know, gold medals in Cuba or Turkey, you know, wherever we've been, France, and now we've got guys in Belarus. We're getting a lot of medals. Probably like to see a few more gold medals, but we're certainly, when I compare ourselves against the field, the world, we're certainly in that top group. So we got work to do. You know, it's a process. You know, the winter tours lead us into our domestic wrestle-offs and you know, ultimately to the world championship. So I like where we're at.
Outstanding. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.